Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Consciousness. I'm going to open with some sound resonance here. I invite you guys to take a deep breath with me. Hold for a moment and slowly exhale, anchoring in this moment that this time is set aside for you to receive those synchronicities, be they brand new ones, meaning there may be something in this reading that you don't think is a synchronicity, but in the coming days or weeks, you might go, oh, that's why that stood out to me in that reading. And I didn't understand why, but now I do. This space is time, hopefully, where you feel that you can, set aside and know that your future self, higher self, can give you some heads up about things to come. Like, hey, don't turn right there, turn left. Or you want to go down to the waterfront. And just kind of sit there for a few moments and take a couple of deep breaths and just sit in the silence and appreciate it. I don't really know where that came from, but that is for someone. Water, going with the flow. I'm getting like there's so much sound in the silence. That song may be quite prominent because that song is anything but quiet. Anything but quiet. Okay. How do we want to open here today? We're going to get some power animals. It's interesting. I haven't grabbed this deck in a while. So there's something here. I know it's been a while since I've posted. I've got a new project I'm working on. And kind of working through all of that. Okay, so right now we have crow, crocodile. Let's get one more here. Crow, crocodile, and the cow. Ooh, definite like Egyptian imagery there. So I'll bring this up close. I really, really like how this pulls from so many different shamanic traditions throughout humanity all over the globe. But overall, quite a few of them have consistencies in what these particular animals represent. So crow is renewal, transformation, magic, and abundance. Messengers, like Odin with Hugin and Munin. Crocodile, opportunity, risk, fertility, and life. I was watching something the other day and they talked about how the crocodile's build has not changed in so long, evolution-wise, like millions and millions of years. I wish I had the specifics like fresh on my mind to be able to give it to you guys, but I don't. But, the crocodile's been around a very, very long time. For some reason, these monkeys are jumping out to me, and there's 3 of them, and I'm getting birds of a feather flocked together. There's like that. I'm not sure what card it is in the deck, but I have the image of it, and it's 3 birds. I think it's like 4 of Wands or 4 of Swords, or something like that. And there's three birds, and then there's another bird. But this could be kind of like a gossipy thing. Like, people may say what they say, and your subconscious, even with it being over the moon, may have opinions, but crocodile's been around a long time. There's opportunities. Let them talk. It's your life. It's your world. It's your choice. What they say is their opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. That's channeled for sure. It's interesting. Definitely quite a bit of the Egyptian, really being honored here with the cobra too. So we got a little bit of a tip of the hat to It's a snake here. The cow is fertility, purity, and divinity. Might be worthwhile really diving into the particular path that you resonate with most and the image of abundance and fertility that the cow has represented. Oh my gosh, why is it did? Why am I doing the double did? Okay, I don't know what that means, but maybe somebody has a stutter. Maybe. I don't normally do that. I tried to correct it and it wouldn't let me, so that's not typical for me. But that could be really, really go back to your roots. Similar to the teachings that you can encounter today versus the teachings that you would have encountered if you lived 200 years ago. But it's the same spiritual structure or religious structure. Be go further back and another layer down, another layer removed from, making things a little more PC. What's the actual root of it? So dig deep with that one. Okay. So we have messages that have been coming through, magic, transformation. This is an overarching theme. It's not just, oh, this is interesting for you. This really anchors into the reading here. So let's see here. All right. Well, we're going to go with this deck. We got options, guys. So I'm pulling from what I'm being led to pull from. So there's a specific image. The power of visualization is incredible. So with the imagery of the cards, there is a specific subconscious meaning in them that can unlock a deeper knowing within the collective tuning in. Just amazing how the human mind works. Ooh, they don't want to go back together. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we got some stubborn energy here. I feel like it's pulling teeth. This is this crocodile is really got the presence of an ancient who maybe hasn't had to communicate or talk or interact on this level in so long that they're just kind of set in their ways a little bit. And it's just with old dogs, how they say old dogs don't learn new tricks. Well, they do if they want to, but they have to want to. And wow, it's unique to every individual. But we are here because we have someone who is used to life a certain way and they think that they know. But there is change, there are messages, there is transformation, there is so much potential, or they wouldn't be here. And yes, this is the Thief card, but look at all that abundance. Look at it. And, this is something that is desired by many. Seizing the moment. Selfishness. So the thief would seek to take this moment, but seizing the moment is reveling in it. Because, life, it goes fast. And when you're in a moment of awesomeness, you want to really be as present with it as you can. But you may have energies around you that would like to take this from you. And that's why that crocodile is sitting there just kind of looking. We have the runaway, which is secrets and, running from your problems. This is inverted. So how do we lie to ourselves and use escapism to avoid how we feel these moments from ourselves? This energy, this ancient wise one is in many lifetimes you have sabotaged yourself, and I have watched it, and I am watching you now. And these three monkeys, they have their opinions, and you don't need to listen to them. They're not the messenger. They're like your inner critic. Your inner critic will keep you miserable. So start standing up for yourself. Okay. And I did pick it up like that. So it was actually in the inverted. But I picked it up like that for a reason. So this could go either way. The captain. Being like Star Trek. Which, you are the captain of the ship. Yes or no? It's up to you. Taking command. Like I had a reading that I just released, and it was very much like two individuals that are very hermit. So if this energy is observing you, and it's kind of hinted, not kind of, it did specifically, I channeled that you guys have been, going round and round and round for a very long time in many lifetimes. You can choose to dust off those extrovert skills and include one another, knowing that the direction that you are both going is one that you both want to go is incredibly empowering. And this doesn't just impact you. There are many others. This has a ripple effect. You guys doing this creates change. And I'm going to leave that upright because why not? Why not choose to not self-sabotage? You may have habits, and in being aware of those habits of self-sabotage, you can choose to alchemize them, to change that. Woo, that one was dancing. The Waker. You guys, if you do choose to observe and see how you steal your moments from yourself, how you can, by listening to these inner critics, like the peanut gallery bullcrap, how these moments of triumph could be taken from you. And this reading would not be coming out with this crocodile, this ancient energy, having the crow and the cow. Abundance, divine messenger, magic, transformation, fertility. You have everything within you right now. Like, say these little monkeys, which very clearly I can definitely understand this. They were using loudspeakers. They had like one of those megaphones, right? They had a megaphone. Good luck ignoring that when it's blasting in your ear. They weren't supposed to have that megaphone. Well, they don't have the megaphone now, and they're that far away. And you've already done a lot of the healing and the looking at yourself and your observing of your patterns and how you self-sabotage. You've already done that. Well, now they don't have the loudspeaker. They don't have the megaphone, and they're super far away. It's so easy to not listen to them. And really, you don't have to. You're very connected. Like, I'm looking at this here is crown chakra. And it's going up to the soul star chakra. Like, you are connected. There's no question. You have everything within you right now. And this has such a ripple effect out from you. You are showing other people in practical ways and how you lead by example. You don't have to be on a soapbox preaching to make an impact. In fact, many times when you are on a soapbox and you're preaching, people stop listening because you sound like you're preaching. The whole, you're bad because you are what you are. Nobody wants to, no, that's not helpful. It's like being chastised with no solution. So it's just a person just getting off on shaming you. Like, what? No. You walk your talk. You don't just say shit to say shit. You mean it. You live it. You do not betray or abandon yourself. If you're going to actually be in this life, you're going to be working towards a better experience. You have committed to that. You have done the reflecting. And through that, there are many other individuals, connections, hermits, lights. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, that song, that divine spark within you, working together with this ancient spirit will, like with this, okay, it's more than an ancient spirit. You guys are soulmates. So you're like past life soulmates. But as this soul said, like, I've watched you sabotage. There's another layer to this too. There is. But I'm going to see if they want me to speak to that. I'm going to need a card for that, just because discernment. I typically do not like to give the microphone to the voices of manipulation and gaslighting and abuse and just real negative stuff. I typically don't like to give them a speaker. You chose to walk your talk, and it's not always easy. There's a reason there's tears coming out of this eye. But because you do that, there is authentic presence and power in how you move. And other people that are just as tuned in, just as aware, as sensitive, as psychic as you, admittedly, they may have other strengths than you. They may have different perspectives that they bring to the whole experience. But they can tell when you're being authentic and when you're not. And you respect that in yourself. Thus, it is respected by others that have eyes to see it. And eyes, it's not the physical eye. It's the intuitive eye to see. Now, about that particular energy, depending on what card comes out next, I will know whether or not it needs to be spoken to. Because I typically do not like to give them the speaker. So we have the cardiographer and the divine. Ooh, both of them are inverted. This to me says this is very clearly about you. You create the map and you know that you're divinely guided. That you have a seed that has been planted within you and it is and has grown within you. So you know when you're creating your story, when you're making this map, the crossroads, the exploration, you know how to choose which way to go. Divine timing and evaluation, how you handle those crossroads, those moments of do I want vanilla or do I want chocolate? Do I want strawberry? Do I want Neapolitan? Do I want all three? Do I want to do with, peppermint bonbon, or do I want to do mint chip? Like, anchoring it into food, it doesn't have to, these metaphors can have much deeper meaning, far more personal and multi-layered, heavy representation. But in food, these are basic choices. These are, I just happen to like peppermint. I'm not so thrilled on the chocolate and the mint chip, but I really, really, really like the peppermint. So it's, you decide, and you know that you have this spark in you. So this is saying that they don't necessarily need a voice because you've already overcome. You see it for what it is. You understand it, what motivates it, and you move accordingly. You protect your light. You have this boundary, this circle around the flame. You have protected your divine spark. It's not that you have to arm yourself with swords and weapons. It's that you say, this is mine. And no one has access without my informed conscious consent, period. Boundary in place. This is someone who has done the same, and the two of you are choosing to work together. These boundaries are not crossing. It's the choice to work together. There's so much that can come from how you choose to move and treating them as you would like to be treated that can create so many new opportunities with the waker for other people to know these things too, to see them, to know that it's even possible for this to be a dynamic that can not just work, but actually be very abundant. And others watching and observing this, of course they're going to be like, man, that looks awesome. How do I manifest that? How do I manifest my partner in this? My co-captain? How do I do that? That's where the awakener comes in, because they begin to want this. Thus, they begin to manifest it. And that then begins this process of them owning this within themselves. This is not a connection that is something that's for the light of heart, like the lighthearted. It is a warrior's path. You really have to be willing to look at aspects of you, your experience, the projections that can come your way that are not necessarily pretty, but hey, drawing that boundary and saying you shall not pass feels really good. This is my light, and I have not given you conscious consent nor permission. So you're violating or wanting to violate this boundary, and reinforcing that, standing in that power, that sovereignty. And that snake keeps jumping out at me. So I'm going to look for the snake here in this, because that aspect speaks quite a bit to this particular power animal. There's something that needs to come through for it. So, okay, I'm complying. Snake, transformation, healing, sexuality, and rebirth. And there's a snake. She's got her rattle. So it's shaking up the energy. This challenge here, this self-sabotaging energy, maybe stagnation. You're very used to your routine. You're very comfortable in what's safe and familiar. And anything that changes that, you're going to feel a resistance to it. That's part of being human. We typically do not, we like structure. We don't like change. However, in embracing this change, you know that your life is going to be one that is richer, that is fuller, because you will have someone to witness it and walk beside you in your life. So those changes may be something that both sides are like, this is not my normal. And giving each other permission to feel that way and not judge one another for that. To come at it with compassion and empathy. And knowing that this is not comfortable, and not holding them to such a high expectation that it's impossible to achieve it. Treat them as you would like to be treated is the golden rule for a reason. Going back to those basics, which is really interesting with this saying, go deeper, go beyond like the current PC, last 100 years of the religious teachings of whatever tradition, because they mention Hinduism, they have the Egyptian in here as well. They got Greco-Roman in here. Like, it is just really like wherever this is calling you to look, reach for the deeper layer. Reach for, maybe a couple 100 years before the last 100, however it may be. Because, maybe you're Buddhist. Maybe it's not mentioned there, but there may be an older teaching. It'd be worthwhile pulling out one of those references and reading it, because there may be power in the words and how it's worded that will land for you. There'll be a synchronicity for you there. That'll connect some dots. As an example, before I bring this reading to a close, I was reading something that was a translation of a scroll from Egypt, like thousands of years ago. And I just started laughing at one point, because something that was taboo to us now was taboo to them then too. It just kind of cracked me up, because are we really that different? We just live in different times. We have access to different knowledge, and we have different customs and technology. That's all. That's all. So, I do hope that you found something of value here, some synchronicities, some validation, some confirmations, and hopefully if there is something that was starting to kind of come to light for you and connecting the dots, you have a little more confidence that yes, this is something that could really be a thing. So the divine, the love within me, sees and honors the divine and the love within you. Namaste.